episode of Listen Up, presented by Press Start Button Now. I am your host, Jason Freakmaster Higa. Johan is not available, so I'll be taking full charge. Today we'll be talking about Dead or Alive. With that, we'll have a discussion with Charles and Aya, who is new to the show.
Hello.
So these two are pretty much fans of Dead or Alive, right? You played every single one of them, right?
Yeah.
My experience with Dead or Alive, well, maybe we'll start with experiences. My first experience with Dead or Alive was Dead or Alive 2 on PS2. I don't know, a lot of games I start with number 2. So like the last episode I started with I think Metal Gear Solid 2. That was my first Metal Gear Solid game.
We need the 2 so that way you know the first one probably did well, so we can get into it later.
Yeah, Dead or Alive 2, I heard stories about it, how fun it is. First, it was kind of confusing because it was using the triangle system, which was hit, throw, counter. I guess that was the unique thing about Dead or Alive. But from Dead or Alive 2, I played Dead or Alive 2 Hardcore, and from that, I didn't have an Xbox, and I still don't have a 360, so I never got to play 3 or 4. But I am playing 5, so. But Aya, what's your first Dead or Alive experience?
I actually got it when it came out as a demo for the Sega Dreamcast, and then I was just really confused about how this game worked because I thought it was like something else like Street Fighter. But I was very wrong, and well, basically from there, I actually purchased the full game after I got the demo, and later on I got a Japanese import. It was the limited edition one for the Dreamcast.
Oh, this is Dead or Alive 2, right?
Yeah, for Dead or Alive 2. And then later on, when it came out for PS2, I got that, Dead or Alive Hardcore. And then ever since then, like, I've just been following it ever since. And like, I even went back and played the Sega Saturn version, and it was
crap.
It wasn't crap, but it was
a lot of jiggle physics.
There was a lot of jiggle physics, and like, if you knock somebody out of the ring, they blow up.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But yeah, ever since then, I've been playing up until 5 right now.
And one was really difficult, remember?
Yeah.
It was I guess I got technical, because all the moves were like more forced. You had what's it called when you have to put in more proper
strict command.
There you go.
It's more strict command.
Yes, and it was like it was hard for a Saturn game, I guess.
Was it the first 3D? Were you familiar with like Tekken or Virtua Fighter?
Virtual Fighter, yeah.
I actually played Virtua Fighter before I played Dead or Alive, and then I'm not sure if I played Tekken before I played Dead or Alive, but
basically this was your first 3D fighter that you liked, or
that I
enjoyed.
really got into, yeah.
It's probably because Virtual Fighter was so difficult. I could never get into that.
Yeah, that's true.
The input was hard.
Charles, what was your first one?
It was 3, and then after I played 3, they came out with the expansion, the 2 Hardcore edition with the first one and everything. And so since I like 3 so much, I just bought that, and I played all of them. And like I said, the first one really, I don't know, I was happy I didn't play that one first because it would have put me off so hard. It was very difficult. But 2, I really enjoyed. I hated the boss though. And then 3, when they had remember I guess
Genma?
Yeah, Genma, little lightsaber guy. I didn't like him, so that's why when I played 2, I said, okay, so this was a new thing they were trying. But I enjoyed all of them. And then 4, yeah.
4 is one. I never got to play 3 or 4. So which one would you consider as your favorite though? Because mine would be, 2 Hardcore was fun, but right now 5 I find that as more competitive or more balanced. Because in 2 I remember you can just mash counter and you'll eventually hit a counter, because if it's a long combo, you'll eventually catch them. But in 5, it seems to be more strict where you can't just mash it. So, which one's your favorite?
For me personally, I think I like 4 a lot because that's when they started speeding things up. Because they kind of did it in 3, but it just felt like it was stable at 4. That was just me personally, but then I still thought counters were ridiculous up until 5, so that was cool.
Because 5 counter is pretty weak, right? The damage output is you're not taking like a quarter of health just from one counter, right?
Yeah, unless it's into an environment.
You're super not
dependent. So remember 2, you just do one counter and quarter of their life is gone from one counter, which is pretty ridiculous. So
I guess they made it so you have to do cross-ups more, because if you play the game, you notice you can literally get away with just pressing triangle, and that's a full combo.
True. I mean,
so they didn't want you to just, just button mash all day. They wanted you to think.
Yeah, because I think for Dead or Alive, it's mostly on mix-ups. Because you don't want long combos because they can just eventually counter you. But right now, just pokes and Charles, which one's your favorite one?
I like 4 too, just for the fact that in 5, I think they took out the impact of the hits. I've talked to you about this before. It seems like, I guess, a Virtual Fighter thing where it's just all the punches seem lighter, and they feel like they.
Is it the sound design? It's like the sound
design,
is. It's not.
You remember before how like they had like the combos and like seemed like a puff cloud came from each hit like combo. It feels weaker. I don't know.
Is it just because like the visuals, or is it more or less like the sound too that accompanies it?
The sound too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Dead or Alive 5, it sounds really like light. It's not. It's like no bass in it.
But I mean, like you could still turn on the hit effects to get like the bursts that you want, I guess.
Is it? I mean, did it really change the game though, or is it? It's like
No.
I feel the punches being faster because I don't hear any bass. So it's like all I hear is jab sounds, which is a really quick.
But from what you told me, 5 doesn't have a boss.
No, for arcade mode, there's no boss.
Well, there isn't story, but I guess
Story,
that doesn't really count.
Yeah, it's a single player.
No spoilers. Alright. But that's what I like about, well, not 3, but in 2 and 4, the bosses just were ridiculous at some point.
No, 2 is Tengu, yeah. But once you find out the patterns, they're pretty simple, right? Because
well, when you got to a higher difficulty level, he was pretty intense. And then in 4, well, that just wasn't fair, so.
Alpha was just ridiculous.
Alright, but we know why it became popular. I mean, Dead or Alive 1 didn't sell as well, right? Even I think it was Tecmo's last resort game, like kind of like Final Fantasy, where they put everything on the line for this game. 1, I remember they said it didn't sell very well. 2, I think that was the sparking point because they made so many rehashes of 2, right? Like Dreamcast, PS2, and then they made Hardcore. Do you think it's popular as compared to Dead or Alive 2 still, or because like Dead or Alive 5 just came out, which is like I think a month ago almost. Yeah. Was it a month ago?
Yeah. And I think it came out at a bad time because Tekken Tag Tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you think it's still as popular as 2?
Not as popular as 2. No.
Yeah, because like you're gonna have to see a bunch of remakes because I think the remakes are what make it like more popular because the fact that it's been coming out in different versions, I think that says a lot.
But because right now, like old Dead or Alive was mostly focused on sex appeal, right? Like the large-chested women and costumes, jazz. Yeah. So, and also like the visuals, right? But then 5, they completely changed the design of the characters. They look more kind of mature, kind of, except for Hitomi looks kind of weird. But
agree with that.
everybody looks more mature. So, do you think they're trying to go in a different direction, or are they? Because I know they said they want to go more mature, like fighter-esque direction instead of like the fan servicey type game.
Yeah, I really think it's because they're trying to like make a scene as like a fighter now, more so than like a fan service and a fighter.
So it's a legit fighting because they want people to recognize Dead or Alive as a legit fighter you can play at tournaments, right?
And if the tagline "I'm a fighter" didn't help out, then I don't know what.
But I mean, it still uses sex appeal, right? A lot.
Hell yeah!
Because even like the poster is just like just their lips area and just sweat. Because the sweat effect is also used. That's also another sex appeal like thing. So, do you think it's the same, or probably like it's a little less popular?
A little less popular, maybe because, like I said, 4 and 3 were Xbox only type of deals, and back then that was pretty much all we had. So we didn't have like Tekken or anything, and then we had Street Fighter, but that was later, much later. So it was like kind of our only 3D fighter too, but I'm sure there were others. But 5 is on PS3, it's on Xbox, and I think, like I said, they're gonna have a rehash. You know, they're gonna bring out more stuff, like maybe new characters or maybe a customization. I don't know, but they'll definitely probably try to remake it or something.
Are they gonna try to do another volleyball thing?
Oh please!
For PS3 and 360.
Probably.
I would love that so much.
I don't know. I was like, that's the thing where you're saying, I want to be a legit fighting game, but then you release something like that, then it just kills all your.
I don't think they'll use the same engine.
Probably not. They're probably gonna like make that into a legit volleyball game.
Yeah,
or something.
Legit volleyball game.
They'll just hand it over to EA. Go to town with it. All right.
Yeah, I mean, as long as if it's another sports-esque game that doesn't involve camera pictures and butt battle and tug of wars
Well,
and
those are actually pretty fun, honestly. Like
The
if you
water
can,
slide.
if you get past like all the fan servicey stuff and just try to play them.
the volleyball games.
Well,
just
not the
as
volleyball.
A sport, as a sport.
Not the volleyball, but like the other stuff, like the water slide was hella hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't they have wave race too, like jet skiing?
That
Yeah,
got
that too.
difficult towards the end of the week too.
So I mean, they're releasing it on a bunch of different consoles too, so that has to mean something, right? Because Dead or Alive was on the 3DS Dimensions, I
Yeah.
think. And everybody says that was. I think most of the community says that was actually a good representation of Dead or Alive.
Yeah, it
Right,
was
yeah.
because they have a story in that one, and it connects one to the current one, or 4 at the time. So it gave you the whole storyline of what happened. So it's just like, oh, so these characters do actually have like a background instead
yeah.
of just like being thrown in.
Yeah, because Dead or Alive seems to have like a. I had no clue the storyline back in 2. Because when I picked up 2, I did not know anything about the characters. I didn't know who Aang was. I didn't know who.
And then you kind of just jump from 2 to 5. So you're
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm like, I got the most of it. I see people playing 3 and 4, so I know the characters. But also, I guess one of the appeals of Dead or Alive is the characters, right? Mostly the female characters, because I think they put most effort into. Because the guy characters aren't really unique. Like,
no, they brought on Elliot.
oh, that was the girly guy.
Yeah.
But then like majority of them like Bayman, he's not really he's like not a standout character compared to like rest of the like fighting game.
I guess.
Like universe.
Well, I think that changed in 5 because they made him Chris Redfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did make him look like Chris Redfield.
I like how they gave him a knife right here too.
Yeah, this is okay.
But like like other characters like besides like I guess Ryu Hayabusa, which is a throwback to the original Ninja Gaiden. Like who else? I can't like Zack. I mean,
Well, Zach is more memorable because of the volleyball.
Oh, yeah.
Zach Island.
Again, the volleyball. It goes back to the
What
volleyball.
was Bayman's partner? You know, the other, the
Leon?
Russian guy? Yeah, Leon. He was kind of forgetful.
Yeah, I think that's why you didn't make it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in
so that's,
5.
because so I mean, like, the female characters are what stands out, but I mean, like my favorite character probably would be Ayane.
Mhm.
I don't know why. Maybe because I'm into like short hair chicks most of the time. I mean, I like Mila too, so there you go. But I mean, Ayane was my character I played in DOA 2. She was difficult to play, but I kind of got the hang of it. But I was like, who's your favorite? Is that Kasumi? Because you seem to enjoy her a lot.
Well, because I've been playing Kasumi ever since 2.
Which is like Ryu, right? From like Street Fighter comparison.
I guess.
'Cause she's like the main
If you think
character.
about the learning curve. But yeah, I actually am maining Tina right now. Like, that's who I'm playing. And it's like a weird jump because it's just like, I'm used to like striking a lot.
Is she defense or is she more like
more grappling, basically.
And down grapple. Those things are destructive.
the ground? Yeah.
But-
I hate those.
But like in 3, I picked up Hitomi because she was a new character. And then,
But she's simple to play, right?
yeah, and she's really quick too. So that helps a lot with her character. And then, I guess right now, actually, I'm maining Tina, but on the side, I'm like doing Lei Fang without anybody really knowing.
I
but,
tried playing Lei Fang and she seems really difficult just because she's mostly
Oh,
a
yeah.
defensive character. You basically have to wait for them to attack so you can, I guess, like parry them and also counter them.
Her grabs are pretty devastating too, though.
Yeah, because I think every strategy guide I look at her, she's like, yeah, she's a defensive type character. You have to basically bait your opponent to do something so you can counter or to parry it and then go for it for the counter. So yeah, because you remember we played Dead or Alive 5 and you said once you played 5 you didn't like Kasumi at all, or her
Well,
playstyle completely changed.
I mean, like, what's it called? I started playing her, like, ever since I said that, and, like, I'm starting to enjoy it again. But it's just, like...
Like the first time you picked up from 4, it's completely different.
Yeah, because it seems like she has more stuff, like, when they gave Ryu Hayabusa just a bunch of ridiculous things. And, like, it feels like that's what they did to her. Because, like, she has, like, a bunch of teleport follow-ups, and I don't know, I'm still trying to get the hang of it. So I'm just like, I'll go to Tina, because I've never
Yeah,
really
Tina seems
played
like they
Tina.
said Tina is also a simple character to use. Charles, who do you play the most of the time?
Well, I play. I want to go. My favorite was Zach because he created the island, and they'll get that. And because he had his I don't know what they call it, the sunscreen suit,
The
giant
alien
suit?
yeah.
Which was like I think it was a free DLC costume in the
That was one
game.
of my favorite costumes in all of them.
You know, if you taunt with that on, his, like, Teletubby light.
That's one of my favorite things. And I guess playstyle in 4, it was Hayabusa. Just for the fact he can teleport everywhere. Honestly.
Was he that easy to teleport?
He could literally be on the other side of the stage and teleport behind you. It was
It's just you from the back?
Yeah. It was kind of ridiculous. But in 5, I really like Brad because I liked him in 4, but in this one, he seems you can mix up with him more. He's kind of a high-low guy.
Brad is, I have trouble playing against him. Well, yeah, he's supposed to be a confusion. Like, you don't know where is he going to hit, when's he going to hit. He's mostly stances, but...
Yeah. And really, the only reason I like him as much as I do is pretty much just the cross-up for the up-down. And because I guess Brad, out of all of them, he doesn't really connect to the story.
He really doesn't. He's just the guy just...
That's probably one of the reasons why he's not too confusing. Just like, okay, he's there. Done.
Yeah, story mode-wise, he really has no connection besides, I guess, he's a partner, or he's like, partner for Elliot.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's just a guy that just hangs around not doing anything.
And another thing, in 4, didn't he quit drinking?
No, dude.
But he had the letter from his master. He's like, I see now. And he just kind of throws it into the wind. And just
he got drunk at the end of Dead or Alive 4.
Was that 3 then?
I don't know.
I forgot. One of them,
if he quits drinking, then his fighting style gonna change.
That's what I'm saying, because I remember in one of them, he reads a letter he gets from someone, throws it into the wind, has that Gone with the Wind moment. He's just looking at the sky, and it just ends. So I didn't really understand that. But I guess he's still drinking, so.
Well, maybe it's just like another tournament invite. That's what I'm thinking.
But all fighting games, I mean, like we discussed this, but they have their communities too. So I mean, Tekken has a community, Street Fighter has a community, Dead or Alive has a community. But when I read some of the posts from the forums of like Dead or Alive fans, they really hate other 3D fighters, especially like Tekken, which I can kind of see their perspective, but I'm more of like, for me, since I was raised more on Tekken, I'm more of a Tekken player than DOA. It's like DOA 2 to 5, which is a big jump, and I think I played 2 when I was like in 2003. So that's way back then. So I had like 2003. That's a 9-year difference. I haven't played Dead or Alive. So Tekken, I'm more of a Tekken person, but a lot of the community, they really hate Tekken, or they don't respect Tekken at all. Well, I like the Tekken community, they see Dead or Alive as it's a fighter, but some Tekken people, they don't consider it as a real fighter because you can just mash counters. Back in like 2000, like in DOA 2, 5, no, it's not the same. But do you see like what they're talking about? Like, do you understand why they hate Dio or Tekken?
Honestly, I just think it's just based on the fact that Tekken got more popular than Dead or Alive, and like they're in no way, shape, or form like. Well, I mean, the whole 3D platform is the same, but like the way you fight, they're completely different. Like I'd say,
because I see, I really see. I see how DOA plays and looks and feels like Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
A lot like Virtua Fighter. Even like the sounds feel like Virtua Fighter. Maybe that's why they were in, was it Dead or Alive 5?
Well, they even said, like, I think I was reading something, it was like an interview with one of the people that were doing Dead or Alive, and they're just like, without Virtua Fighter, we probably wouldn't have a Dead or Alive. So I thought that was interesting.
But do you see, like, but do you hate Tekken, or are you
I don't get why people always have to like hate something, because it's just like, I love Tekken, I love Dead or Alive, I love Street Fighter.
I mean, it's a fighting game, so I can't respect all fighting games, but a lot of people, they don't respect a fighting game, like respect, especially Tekken, because a lot of the DOA people think Tekken is just launch, juggle, the end, you can't counter. While in DOA, they enjoy that. Even though you're getting stunned, you can still counter. Because Tekken, you can't. Once you get juggled, you can't do anything. You just have to take it. But that's like that thing I can see from them. But them saying that DOA is better, I can't really agree. Because if it's better, then it should. If it's a better engine, a better fighting game.
That's what you come from the Tekken growing up, right? Because the way I saw it was, in Tekken, it's technical. You have a combo. You have to memorize your buttons, get the timing right.
Yeah,
right?
that's
in Dead or Alive 2 and 3, like I said, you can literally mash a button and that'll be a full combo. I think that's why some of the Tekken people saw that and said, well, that doesn't seem fair.
It's an easy fighter.
Which is why they have the counter to balance it out. But since in Tekken, like they said, we see it's like, it's just like us. We can pull out a full combo, but they can't do anything to stop it. Literally, you'll just get wall bounced in Tekken and you'll die. So there's not really a way to prevent stuff from happening. I think that's why Dead or Alive, the Dead or Alive community doesn't really shine in Tekken that much.
Also, I think, do you think one of the reasons is because Itagaki, the guy that made Dead or Alive, the guy that's responsible for it, I'll be honest, I really don't like the guy. I think he's a douche. Because he's pretty blunt about whatever he says. He doesn't like cover, but he really disrespects Tekken. This is from Wikipedia, so I don't know if it's just take that as a grain of salt, but apparently they trash talk, or was it, Tekken people. They insulted his game, Dead or Alive 1, in a radio commercial back in early 90s or late 90s. And ever since that, he just got really offended, and he just hated Tekken. Even though he said he his family likes Tekken 1, 2, and 3, it's a really good game, he just doesn't give respect to Tekken in general. So I think that the community also sees his perspective. I don't even know if it's a perspective, it's just because he said it, so of course his fans are like, oh, I also agree, Tekken is not a fun game. Even though Itagaki said nothing about the gameplay, just, I don't like them because they insulted me, so that's it. It was just a personal hate. It's not even like a complaint on the gameplay. It was just, I don't like them because they made fun of me, or they made fun of my game.
Well, I think a lot of people just probably conceive that as them hate, or him hating on Tekken as a whole, not just to something personal. And I think because of that, the fans, obviously, they're gonna follow the creator's side because what he says.
It's his game, yeah.
So.
I mean, do you still think it's not his game anymore since he left the company? So
fine.
It's another guy, but so technically you don't even have to follow his words anymore. But
I really just think it was, I don't know. Even though it's just in a real social situation. If somebody says something to you, then you should just take it with a grain of salt and just walk away from it. But the fact that he blew it up, that's probably why what caused the blow up of hating against each other, because I'm pretty sure no matter what happens, if there's something to compare to, there's always going to be sides. So
Charles, do you think anything different? Or
I think the hate, like I said earlier, is from the Xbox community, because remember when the original Xbox came out, there was the whole controversy of Xbox PS2, which was better. And do you remember that?
It's always a console war. Every single generation, it's always a console war.
But that was the Xbox's first, I guess, the debut. And it was really, because remember, who was fighting over the GameCube? No one. Everyone just kind of let the GameCube sit in the child's playpen. You don't fight a kid. So I think that, and then Xbox having Dead or Alive as, I guess, it's not a launch title. What is it when it's exclusive?
Exclusive, yeah.
And Tekken being exclusive to PS2, they kind of, I guess, a rivalry jumped up, and then the creator, not helping the situation, probably just fueled the fire, and then it exploded into what it is today. Because 4 was an exclusive as well, and I don't believe Tekken 4 was on Xbox, was it?
It wasn't on Xbox,
yeah,
it was PS2.
So
Tekken 5 was a Sony exclusive.
Yeah, so that probably gave a lot of it to just we don't like that game because it's not on our system.
Do you think I bet, yeah. Was it?
Like PS3 Halo players, Halo's not on PS3, why would we even care about it? So, probably the same reasoning.
What do they have for... Anyway, never mind.
I mean, now that's on, both consoles, do you think that's also another fuel? Because now they're we had an exclusive game, and now you sold yourself out to Sony. Does that mean the fans should just not like Dead or Alive 5 anymore as well?
I think it's a combination of them changing the system and, I guess, making it not exclusive. But I'm pretty sure if they like the game, if the fans like the game, they'll keep with it. And the hate will probably die down since it's on both systems now.
There's no reason for them to
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Tekken players, they start seeing Dead or Alive as it's a legit fighter. They're not complaining, but still the Dead or Alive 5 community has a really still has a grudge on it. I see some ridiculous reasonings.
Probably one in a handful.
But I see a majority of them starting to dissolve.
Yeah.
But back in the day, there was a lot of hate. Do you talk with other people from the community about Dead or Alive, or?
Yeah, actually, I have a few friends that honestly think that Dead or Alive's still not a fighter to them, but it's just
even after did they play 5 or?
Well, the thing is, they never really gave it a chance. They just assumed,
yeah,
and that's what really ticks me off, because it's just even though people were telling me like, oh yeah, Tekken sucks and all that stuff, I still tried it and I ended up liking it. So it's just like, why can't people just like go over what people say and just do what they should do and just try it for themselves and make their own judgment?
Yeah, a lot of people I see that, and like even a lot, they're like make the one that make the ridiculous reasonings with Dead or Alive being better than Tekken. A lot of their reasonings are not accurate. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm just gonna ignore them.
They seem like they don't even know what Tekken is.
Yeah, basically, they're like, oh, this is a bunch of clones and stuff. I'm like, well,
in Tekken, there's Ryu. What's up with that guy?
Yeah, Kazuya, Jin, and Heihachi, they all play the same. I'm like, yeah, sure, but I'll just.
In Dead or Alive, we got flamingos. Nice flamingos.
And then what's up with Tekken with the same name, Mishima? They couldn't think of more names.
Yeah, so it's really ridiculous about the reasonings. But I don't know. I see. Yeah, but I see like what do you see in the future of Dead or Alive? Do you think it's gonna be more popular now because it's being recognized as a fighter, or do you think it'll still be as a niche crowd kind of game?
I honestly don't like predicting stuff, but that's just me. But I'm just gonna say I'm still gonna love it regardless of what happens. And like if they make a volleyball game, it's still not gonna change the fact that I like playing the fighter too. So
I see. Yeah, I mean, to me, I see it getting a little bigger because it's on both consoles now, so anybody can play it. Also, the game is more, I guess, like offensive because the countering is strict.
Yeah.
And so it's not the same as 4 or 3. So
I'm hoping they kind of, I don't want to say like, but jump on the bandwagon for customization. You know, maybe add stuff like taking that combat, right?
Taking that combat, yeah.
Customize their own moves into a certain character, or just the character customization period. Adding songs. I think they'll look around and see the fighters all having the customization, the color changes. I hope they look on that and maybe add that to the next one.
I really want, I think that was really disappointing with 5 was they didn't have a customization like Tekken. Tekken has like a good customization, especially Tekken Tag 2. I spent like an hour just customizing one character in that game.
Soul Calibur 4, buddy?
Soul Calibur 4 was pretty good too, but I mean, I was really disappointed 5 wasn't customization friendly. It was just earn the costume and then you can change their hairstyle or panties or whatever it was. I can't remember. I think it was all I remember was hairstyle. That's all I remembered. Hairstyle or just to take their accessory off or something.
or you can give them glasses. I don't know why they added glasses.
Was it a DLC or was that X?
Oh no, you just like it's pressing the directional buttons when you choose a character.
Every character has glasses.
Well, well, the girls do, but I don't think the guys do.
Guys don't get.
You know Japan, glasses fetish, man.
Yeah, the glasses fetish people. But yeah, because I don't know, Japan, they won't. Because Japan, Dead or Alive didn't sell very well at all. Because it was an Xbox game, and you know Japan.
Yeah.
Microsoft games is so anything like Microsoft related did not sell at all. Only exception was like Idolmaster, but that was
We moved to the PS3.
that was moved to PS3. So that was basically the downfall of like the Microsoft. But I think from this, I really hope that people start, I guess, giving DOA a chance, because was 4 ever given a chance at Evos and?
No, not that I saw.
No, right? Because it's all strictly. It was like only Tekken. I think Tekken was like only one at Evo. Even at like Japan's Evo, which is like SBO, they didn't even have. The SBO is mostly as arcade games, so DOA, since they didn't have an arcade release, that's all probably also hurt them. But yeah, hopefully it'll be I want it to be a bigger game. I mean, it's pretty entertaining to play. It's like what? It's a serious game, but it's also not serious because you have the cinematic effects, right? Like that's one of the most important, crazy things about the game was you can knock people off of like areas and then go into a new area.
Yeah. And they added that new cliffhanger thing where like you get a chance to like
counter
dodge.
Counter or dodge. Yeah.
That is so confusing to me.
I mean, it looks cool.
It's still pretty straightforward because it's just like if you're on the ledge and then you press the same button as the person that's going to knock you off, then you avoid damage.
So you just avoid, yeah. Or if you mess up, then they can counter you, knock you down.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And then the expert holds, or the expert counters, I should say.
Oh, the ones you have to do like some crazy, like back, forward, up, or down, up command. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's as if you have to work for your damage for the counters now. So I really like the fact that they added that too, and then made the regular counters just like not as devastating.
You said DOA 1, they blew up, right? They didn't have like throw down to a different area, right? It was
Well,
just,
like it was like a square ring, and then all around that square ring was like a furnace or something, and like if you made the character like fall onto it, they would blow up.
every
And-
single stage.
Yeah.
So it's not like if you knock them off the ring, then they just go into a new area.
Yeah, and then it was more ridiculous because like if you beat them and then they were thrown onto the furnace area, I'm gonna call it that, like they blow up like 50
Sky
feet
high.
in the air, and it just never made sense to me. So
I mean, that was like their first game, so I can't really say too much about it.
It's like the whole stage was just like covered with dynamite.
Yeah.
And as soon as you fall, you just explode into the air every time. It was weird.
All right, so it's that time now. We're going for about 30 minutes now.
oh no, my
So,
God.
But yeah, DOA. You enjoyed DOA still, right? I mean, it's not-
Yeah, so like,
Are you gonna, have you played 5? You
know.
have. I know I have it, but do you have it?
No.
Are you gonna buy it?
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yes.
When it's in the
Someday.
Someday. It's in the bargain bin.
No.
What's I gonna say about the pan? It's like, oh, I bought in the bargain bin.
I'll buy it before then.
Yeah, because I mean, that's one. Yeah, it's one of those games that everybody has to at least play once. You can't just judge it by saying, oh, it's a sexual fighting game. It's like yes and no, because they have, like I said, they have the sweat and dirt effects.
It's fighting entertainment. That's
Yeah,
what they-
yeah, that's what I think. That's what they said. It's a fighting
Yeah.
entertainment. But yeah, you enjoyed what we talked about, whatever.
I love it.
Whatever it was.
I honestly love everything Dead or Alive. Like
Because you
even-
divided like I think you said you imported the game, right?
Yeah, I had it imported for the limited edition one. For the
Could you
Dreamcast.
even play it?
No.
You still have it
Somewhere, probably.
packaged or it's like it's like open?
It's probably open somewhere.
You got that Dead or Alive Extreme on the PSP.
Oh my God, yes,
Yeah.
Paradise.
Oh, Paradise, that's the game. I tried playing that game. I was like, I didn't get it.
I have everything so far though, like all of the Dead or Alives that have been out. Like I don't own the Sega Saturn one.
And
That's
that's
like the
probably
only
a
one I
new
own.
goal you have to go get. So to pick up the Dead or Alive 1 on the Sega Saturn. If you guys have any comments regarding the Dead or Alive franchise, or just what your favorite characters are, or anything in general about Dead or Alive, leave a comment. Also, please like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our channel at Press Start Button Now. So until then, see you guys.
See you.
Bye bye.